RadioNow 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Metheny.
Hello, I'm Emily Metheny, your host. This week, Jackie Rodriguez, who's the communications manager for Indiana Humanities, joins the show. We talk about the organization's projects and programs happening this year, especially during National Poetry Month, which is in April. We started our conversation with Jackie giving some details about the organization.
We're a statewide nonprofit that serves all 92 counties of Indiana. And the way I like to explain what our mission is really just to bring Hoosiers together to think, read, and talk through humanities-related programs. We have a lot of different programs that we offer throughout the year. And not only do we bring these programs to various communities across the state, we also provide grant funding to nonprofit organizations. So we redistribute funds that are given to us from the National Endowment for the Humanities. And then basically are just helping other organizations do very similar types of work that, again, bring people together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And right now it's April, and April is National Poetry Month. Can you talk a little bit about what Indiana Humanities is doing this month?
Yeah, so we have a little project going on right now called All Together Now Indiana, which is a collaboration between Indiana Humanities and our state poet laureate, Matthew Graham, which invites Hoosiers to come together and join in on this poetry project that we have online. So if you go to our website, you're able to add your own lines to this poem that's sort of a collaborative effort. And at the end of the month, we'll reveal the big poem as it's been put together. And really the focus here is to bring poetry to the people and to focus on Indiana as our state. What does it mean to be from here, to live here? What is our identity as a community, as a people? So really just focus on that Hoosier aspect of Indiana.
And if I am someone who's not really ever been introduced to poetry, is this welcoming for anybody?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You don't have to be a professional poet by any means. The idea behind this was really just to provide, Hoosiers with an opportunity to kind of get introduced to poetry. Another good way to kind of get involved with the celebration this month is to follow us on social media. We're posting a lot of really fun, exciting poetry-related content, not only with State Poet Laureate Matthew Graham, but with other Hoosier poets that really just kind of introduce poetry as a subject. And I think break down some of the barriers that, or misconceptions that people have about poetry, that it's, this complicated or unknown subject, but I think it helps us bring people together and also just make more sense of who we are as human beings.
Mm-hmm. And just kind of a little bit about National Poetry Month. Why is it so wonderful and important to have a month that we can celebrate this medium?
Yeah, that's a great question. National Poetry Month has been celebrated for quite some time. I think it was introduced in the 90s. And it's just a way to increase awareness and appreciation of poetry here in the U.S. specifically. I think that, again, sometimes people are just turned away from poetry or don't really understand it because they haven't experienced it or been exposed to it. But that's why we feel it's so important to kind of highlight the joy that poetry brings to individuals and to communities, and how it can sometimes be a conversation starter or a starter for, just togetherness in general.
Mm-hmm. And continuing through National Poetry Month, will there be any other events happening as well?
So we will have some other events coming up, not necessarily related to National Poetry Month. A lot of what we're doing for our celebration is going to be digital. So regardless of where you're at, you'll be able to kind of interact with us online on our social media platforms. So we encourage people to do that. But we do have a lot of other exciting programs coming up this summer.
Yeah, awesome. Can you share a little bit about those programs and when people can find them?
Yeah. So I'd say that one of the most exciting programs that we have coming up. Not the only exciting program, but one of the ones that we are really excited for is called Campfires. And this is a program that's returning again for another season. And essentially what we do during these programs is we take Hoosiers out on some kind of hike or float down a river, and we bring along a humanist and a naturalist, so someone who can kind of provide context about the natural environment that we're in, and then someone who provides talking points and discussion points to really think about, what our place in nature is like. And so these are going to be returning. We have all the information on our website. I think the first one starts on May 7th. These tickets, I will say, do sell out pretty quickly, so we recommend signing up as soon as possible. But yeah, it's just a really cool opportunity to see some beautiful landscapes and areas of Indiana, and then also just to kind of explore some of those deeper questions and deeper ideas around, what our place in nature is and what it means to coexist in the natural world.
And these will be going out throughout the summer, but the first one's going to be in May, correct?
Yes. So the first one runs through May or starts in May, excuse me. And then the last one is in September 17th. So it'll be throughout the summer. And yeah, that's just a really exciting program, something that we really enjoy doing, and a lot of people seem to be really excited about. And the fun part too is at the end, after we go on the hike and have these discussions and talks, then we gather together around a campfire, have some beverages, and it really comes together as a group.
So besides the campfires this year, what else is coming up for Indiana Humanities?
Yeah, so another exciting thing that we have coming up is a program called In Conversation, which will be happening in June at the Idle. We'll be bringing author and scientist Robin Wall Kimmerer to the Idle for a conversation, and she's going to be talking about her one of her latest books, Braiding Sweetgrass, which really touches on this overarching theme we have going on called Unearthed, which sort of explores our relationship to the natural world, the impact that we have on it, and vice versa, and its impact on us. So we have that program coming up. And another plug I'll also just mention is that this year is also a year that we will be announcing winners for the Indiana Authors Award. So that's a biennial award that Indiana Humanities manages. And we're really excited just to announce some of the new winners for different categories, and kind of share that exciting information as well. And
kind of touching on more on Indiana Author Awards. So as a biannual award, you recognize these Indiana authors for their contributions. Is there a list that people can find and read about past winners?
Yes, absolutely. So if you visit indianaauthorsAwards.org, we have information about our past winners, and some of the categories that we honor books in include fiction, nonfiction, poetry, children's, young adult, drama, genre, and emerging. So typically, if people want to find out more information about this, we recommend them checking out our website. Or another great way to learn more about local authors is by checking us out on our social media pages. We have a page for Indiana Humanities and then one for Indiana Authors Awards. And we feature a lot of cool content that sometimes just gives a more personal look into the lives of some of these authors, little interviews and videos and things like that.
And also with the Indiana Author Awards, you have some conversations coming up with Ashley Ford. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so that is actually going to be happening next week on the 13th at Arsenal Technical High School. And we're bringing Ashley C. Ford, who's the author of Somebody's Daughter, a New York Times bestselling book. She'll be in conversation with Tamara Winfrey Harris, who's another local author, and they'll be having just really honest conversation about what it means to be a writer, and a writer here in Indiana.
And you talked a little bit about Unearthed earlier. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I know there was a film, Waterways.
Yes. So the Unearthed theme is it's like a thematic initiative that we have here at Indiana Humanities. that really explores our relationship to the natural world, our impact on it, and then its impact on us. And as part of that theme, we've also launched a Waterways film tour that's touring across 9 different cities in the state, and it features 6 short documentaries, all made by local filmmakers that explore Indiana waterways, such as the White River, the Calumet. So we've been traveling from city to city, and tonight we'll actually be here in Indianapolis for our 3rd stop of the tour at the Taggart Amphitheater in Riverside Park for a screening. Another opportunity to kind of that goes along with this Unearthed theme is also our Waterways Exhibit. So we have the film tour, and then we actually have the Waterways Exhibit, which is an exhibit through the Smithsonian that is usually featured in smaller rural communities. And so last year we rolled this out, but we decided to continue it this year. And so if people want more information about that, they can visit our website to get details about, where the exhibits are going to be hosted. I believe the next one is going to be in Cedar Lake, Indiana. It'll be opening later this month. But that's just a really cool way to also kind of see, a really high level museum exhibit, that kind of covers local issues like waterways and things like that. So that's one. And then another cool program that we also offer that's focused here in Indianapolis is called Books, Booze, and Brains. So it's a monthly book club for people who are interested in science. The group meets usually at Blackacre Brewery. We also do offer a live stream of the event, and we bring someone who's kind of like an expert in the field related to that book that we've selected for the month to have a discussion. So yeah, that's just another exciting program that we also offer.
And people can stay up to date with all the programs and everything related to Indiana Humanities by visiting your social media, which is super active, your website. Is there any place else can people sign up for a newsletter?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, you can sign up for our newsletter, which is a really, really great way to stay connected with us. We send out a monthly newsletter. And then, yeah, honestly, just signing up and or just following us on social media. We're really, really active, and we try to keep, updates as frequently as possible on there about our programs and just cool events that we have coming up.
Excellent. And Jackie, as we start to wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to add about Indiana Humanities or any of your upcoming projects or programs?
I would just say that, I think we have a program for everyone out there. Again, our mission here is really to bring Hoosiers together to think, read, and talk, and we offer a lot of diverse ways of doing that through our programming and events. So if you've never heard of us or if you've never checked out our programs before, I definitely recommend it. As we're coming out of coming through the pandemic now, we're really starting to get back into the routine of some of our normal programs and outdoor activities and events. So just encourage people to come in and check that out.
Excellent. And because people are able to start getting back together, what has that experience been like since we've been digital the past 2 years?
Yeah, I think with the digital aspect, we've definitely been able to reach wider audiences and even just, communities who may have accessibility issues. So I think that's been really nice to be able to get in front of different communities. But, as we're sort of coming back to in-person events, I think there's a lot of excitement and there's a lot of energy that we're seeing because people are really interested in coming back together and seeing one another and having conversations and, just building those meaningful connections that are so much easier to do when you're face-to-face, when you're, next to that person.
And is there anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. Just check out our website, indianahumanities.org, and that's a really great place to start getting more information about who we are and what we do.
Thank you for joining me this week, and please join me again next week. If you want to reach out or have topics you'd like to hear more about or would like me to cover, email me at emetheny, that's EMETHENY, at radio-one.com. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at EmilyDoesVideo. To hear previous editions of Indy's Connection, visit RadioNowIndy.com and search Indy's Connection at the top. Until next time, have a great week.
Radio Now 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Metheny.